Once upon a time, in a world of adventure and danger, there were pirates. These fierce and daring individuals sailed the seas, seeking riches and fame. The tales of their exploits have captured our imaginations for centuries, and have been a staple of storytelling throughout history. The history of piracy in storytelling dates back to the earliest recorded tales of seafaring adventures. In ancient Greece, the epic poem The Odyssey features the hero Odysseus facing off against the sea goddess Calypso and the one-eyed giant Polyphemus. These encounters with mythical sea creatures and the dangers of the open ocean set the stage for the pirate stories to come. In the Middle Ages, pirates became a very real threat, and their exploits began to be recorded in literature. The story of the infamous pirate Blackbeard, who terrorized the Caribbean in the early 18th century, is just one example of the colorful characters that became the subject of popular legend. As piracy evolved and became more organized, so did the stories that were told about it. In the 19th century, the romanticized image of the pirate was born, thanks in part to the works of authors like Robert Louis Stevenson and Jules Verne. Treasure Island, published in 1883, is perhaps the most famous pirate story of all time. It follows the adventures of young Jim Hawkins as he sets out to find the treasure of the infamous pirate Captain Flint. In the early 20th century, Hollywood began to take notice of the appeal of pirate stories. The swashbuckling films of the 1920s and 30s, starring actors like Errol Flynn and Douglas Fairbanks, brought pirate stories to the masses. These films depicted the high seas adventures of pirates in a romanticized and exaggerated way that continues to captivate audiences to this day. In more recent times, the popularity of pirate stories has only continued to grow, from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie franchise to the Assassin's Creed video game series. Pirates have remained a beloved and enduring subject of storytelling. While the real-life history of piracy may be far less romantic than the stories told about it, there's no denying the appeal of the swashbuckling adventures and daring escapades of these notorious seafarers. Whether in books, movies, or video games, pirate stories continue to captivate audiences and transport us to a world of adventure on the high seas. The life of a pirate is not an easy one, nor is it for the faint of heart. It is a life filled with adventure, danger, and a constant struggle to survive in a world where the law is not always on your side. For many pirates, life begins as a young sailor, working on a merchant ship or a naval vessel. They may grow tired of the harsh discipline, low pay, and lack of freedom. They may long for a life where they can roam the seas as they please, taking what they want and living by their own rules. It is not an easy decision to make, but for those who do choose the pirate life, it can be a thrilling and lucrative one. They join a crew of like-minded individuals who are willing to risk everything for the chance at fortune and glory. At first, life on a pirate ship can be difficult. The work is hard, the conditions are often cramped and unsanitary, and there is always the risk of running afoul of the authorities. But for those who stick it out, the rewards can be great. Pirates live by a strict code of conduct, known as the Pirates' Code. This code governs everything from how the loot is divided to how disputes are settled. It also lays out the punishments for those who break the code, which can range from flogging to marooning to even death. Despite the dangers, there is a sense of camaraderie among pirates. They rely on each other to survive, to navigate the treacherous waters, and to fend off attacks from other ships. They also enjoy the freedom that comes with the pirate life, the ability to go where they please, do what they want, and answer to no one. Of course, there are also the risks that come with the pirate life. They may face battles with other ships, encounters with dangerous sea creatures, and the constant threat of capture by the authorities. But for many pirates, these risks are worth taking for the chance at wealth and adventure. As they continue on their journeys, pirates may become more seasoned and successful. They may become captains themselves, leading their own crews and taking on even greater risks for even greater rewards. But for all pirates, the ultimate end is the same. Whether it be captured by the authorities, a fatal injury in battle, or simply the end of their time on the seas, the life of a pirate is one that is lived on the edge, with the constant knowledge that danger could be lurking just over the horizon. In the end, the life of a pirate is not for everyone. It takes a certain kind of person, brave, daring, and willing to risk it all to make it as a pirate. But for those who do, the rewards can be great, and the memories will last a lifetime. Pirates were known for their ferocity, courage, and cunning, but their ships and weapons were just as important to their success on the high seas. The pirate ships of the golden age of piracy, late 17th and early 18th centuries, were designed to be fast, maneuverable, and capable of carrying a large crew and cargo. The weapons they used were deadly and effective, enabling them to overcome much larger and better equipped ships. Pirate ships were often stolen or purchased secondhand and then outfitted with modifications to make them more suitable for piracy. These modifications might include adding extra masts, rigging, or sails to increase speed, as well as reinforcing the hull and decks to withstand the rigors of battle. Pirate ships also tended to be lighter and shallower than other ships of the time, allowing them to navigate shallow waters and evade larger vessels. One of the most famous pirate ships was the Queen Anne's Revenge, which was captained by the infamous Blackbeard. The ship was originally a French slave ship, but Blackbeard captured it in 1717 and outfitted it with 40 guns and a crew of 300. The ship was so powerful that it was able to capture several larger British vessels during Blackbeard's reign. Pirates were known for their ruthlessness and their ability to strike fear into the hearts of their victims. One reason for this was the weapons they used. Pirates used a variety of weapons, including swords, pistols, muskets, and cannons. Swords were the primary weapon of choice for boarding actions, and pirates were skilled in their use. The cutlass was the most popular sword among pirates, as it was relatively lightweight and easy to wield in close quarters. Some pirates also used rapiers, which were longer and more elegant than cutlasses, but also more fragile. Pistols and muskets were also important weapons for pirates. These firearms were used for ranged combat, and were particularly effective during boarding actions when the pirates could fire down onto the deck of an enemy ship from above. Pirates often carried multiple pistols and muskets, and were skilled in reloading them quickly. Finally, pirates used cannons to devastating effect. Cannons were mounted on the decks of pirate ships and were used to disable or sink enemy vessels. Pirate ships could be outfitted with dozens of cannons, and the sound of their thundering fire was enough to strike fear into the hearts of any who heard it. Women in piracy may not have been as numerous as their male counterparts, but they still made an impact in the history of piracy. Throughout history, women have played many roles in piracy, from pirates themselves to supporting members of a pirate crew. One of the most famous women in piracy was Bonnie. Born in Ireland in the late 17th century, Bonnie moved to the Caribbean as a child with her family. She eventually joined a pirate crew and became one of the most notorious pirates of her time. Bonnie was known for her courage and fierce fighting skills, and was feared by many. She eventually ended up in prison and was sentenced to hang, but her execution was delayed due to her pregnancy. Legend has it that she escaped and lived out the rest of her life as a free woman. Another famous female pirate was Mary Read. She was born in England in the late 17th century and spent much of her life disguised as a man. She eventually joined a pirate crew and became close friends with Bonnie. Read was known for her bravery and fighting skills, and was respected by her fellow pirates. Like Bonnie, Read was eventually caught and sentenced to hang, but died of a fever before her execution. There were also women who played supporting roles in piracy, such as Rachel Wall. Wall was born in the early 18th century in Massachusetts and married a sailor. When her husband died at sea, Wall turned to piracy to support herself. She joined a pirate crew and was known for her cooking skills, which were highly valued on board ship. Wall was eventually caught and hanged for piracy. Women in piracy faced many challenges, including discrimination and gender-based violence. They were often treated poorly by their male counterparts, but despite this, they still managed to make their mark in the world of piracy. Their stories are a testament to the strength and resilience of women throughout history. Piracy has had a significant impact on world history, and it continues to affect the world today. Pirates have been portrayed in stories and movies as swashbuckling adventurers or ruthless criminals, but the truth is that piracy has had a far-reaching impact on many aspects of life. One of the most significant impacts of piracy has been on international trade. Pirates have long targeted ships carrying valuable cargo, such as spices, gold, and silver. This has led to an increase in the cost of goods, as merchants have had to invest in additional security measures to protect their shipments. In some cases, the threat of piracy has even led to the abandonment of certain trade routes altogether. The impact of piracy has also been felt in the realm of politics. Throughout history, pirates have challenged the authority of various governments, often establishing their own autonomous communities. For example, the pirate haven of Nassau in the Bahamas became a hub of activity for many notorious pirates in the early 18th century, and the island was effectively governed by a group of pirate captains. Pirates were seen as a threat to the established order, and governments responded with measures to suppress piracy, such as the formation of naval forces and the passing of anti-piracy laws. The influence of piracy can also be seen in popular culture. Stories and movies about pirates have captivated audiences for generations, and pirate imagery has become a popular fashion trend. The popularity of pirates has even led to the creation of pirate-themed amusement parks and attractions. Another significant impact of piracy has been on the development of maritime law. As piracy became a more significant threat to international trade, governments began to create laws and treaties to combat piracy. One of the most famous of these is the 1856 Declaration of Paris, which established rules regarding the treatment of neutral ships during times of war. In conclusion, piracy has had a profound impact on the world, from its influence on international trade and politics to its role in popular culture and the development of maritime law. While piracy is often romanticized in stories and movies, its real-world effects have been far-reaching and complex. Modern piracy, also known as contemporary piracy, is a criminal activity that has been on the rise in recent years. Unlike the traditional piracy of the past, which occurred mostly on the high seas, modern piracy takes place in a variety of locations, including coastal waters, ports, and rivers. The impact of modern piracy can be seen in several areas, including the global economy, the safety of seafarers, and international security. One of the biggest impacts of modern piracy is on the global economy. Piracy has become a serious threat to international trade, particularly in regions where piracy is prevalent. This can lead to increased costs for shipping companies, who may need to hire security personnel or take longer, less direct routes to avoid piracy hotspots. In some cases, shipping companies may choose to avoid certain regions altogether, leading to economic isolation and hardship for the people living in those areas. Another impact of modern piracy is on the safety of seafarers. Piracy can be a terrifying and dangerous experience for those on board a ship that is targeted. Pirates may be armed and violent, and seafarers are often taken hostage for ransom. The physical and emotional toll of such an experience can be significant, and many seafarers suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) as a result. As we've seen, the world of pirates was full of adventure, danger, and intrigue. From the golden age of piracy to modern times, pirates have captured our imagination and inspired countless books, movies, and TV shows. In the end, the world of piracy is a complex and fascinating one, full of larger-than-life characters and daring feats. So whether you're a history buff, a fan of adventure stories, or just looking to escape into a world of high seas and hidden treasure, the world of piracy has something to offer for everyone. Thank you for watching, and please let us know in the comments if you liked the video and what you know about the pirates.